welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. I hope you're having yourselves a wonderful morning this morning as we are here with you and have plenty of wonderful, wonderful conversations coming up. A trio of gentlemen will be joining me here on the broadcast this morning, and I cannot wait to share each of these conversations with you up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we thank you so much for being with us all over the country and the world. And of course, here on today's show and on all of our broadcasts, proudly coming to you from inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, Great Lakes Honda City, there for you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They are open for sales and service Monday through Saturday, and they're open all the time by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. So make sure you do that. They have new and used vehicles, and of course at Great Lakes Honda City you can buy and lease and do all of that by first going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com, checking out their inventory, getting the information you need, and then heading over to 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. With that being said, our trio of guests inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', the place that has every single need when it comes to snacks for your taste buds. Mon Paz giving you the list of topics and guests for the day on our broadcast here on Wake Up Call. Our first guest, Ed Gosek, will be joining us at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and Ed is, of course, the longtime head coach of the Oswego State Lakers men's ice hockey team, and they are going toward another opportunity at a SUNYAC Championship that's coming up in just a few days. As we are here with you on the 4th, this championship for the SUNYAC will be played on Saturday, March 7th, and Ed will be talking with us about this season, 19-6-2 so far, and the hopes of the SUNYAC Championship, as well as his run as head coach of this squad that he's been for so many years and helped to build this men's ice hockey program at Oswego State for the Lakers. So a lot of great stuff coming up here where sports meets life. He was hired at Oswego in 2003 as the head coach, and he was the assistant coach at Oswego from 1990 to 2003. So he has been with the Oswego State Lakers in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and now in the 2020s. And when we look back on the career of Ed Gosek at 2026 right now, from 1990 to where we are right now, almost 4 decades with Oswego State. He was the AHCA Ed Jeremiah National Coach of the Year in 2007, the SUNYAC Coach of the Year in 2005, 2010, and 2019, and he played at Oswego State from 1979 to 1983. So a lot of success, a lot of great stories to tell. And when he entered this 2025-26 season, he had a career record of 408 wins, 142 losses, and 36 ties. He is the all-time winningest coach in Oswego State men's ice hockey history and has just done a tremendous job. So I'm very excited that Ed Gosek's going to be joining us in just a few minutes here. And then at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, every Wednesday, we bring you my exclusive segment with Dan Villari entitled NeapoliDANS, because we're both Dan and we're both Italian. So NeapoliDANS episode 9 is going to be coming to you today, and it's all about what Dan Villari has learned from the sport of football. You don't want to miss a moment of that multi-layered conversation in episode 9 of NeapoliDANS on Dan Villari's path to the 2026 NFL Draft as a tight end draft prospect. And we'll round out the show with Kingsley Jonathan, another Syracuse alum who has been in the NFL for multiple seasons now, spent time with the Chicago Bears, the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, and has been working out with a bunch of teams throughout his history as well, including the Cleveland Browns and Houston Texans. Kingsley Jonathan is fresh off of getting engaged to his longtime girlfriend, and we'll be talking about that engagement, how he did it, as well as the sport of football, his faith in God, and his advice to you. Today is all about you. Messages to you. That's what Wake Up Call is about. Not just today, but every day. And I'm here to do God's work. I'm here to help people. And I do what I love. I love what I do. This microphone means a lot to me. My voice means a lot to me. But without God, I'm nothing. Without God, none of these relationships happen. Without God, I don't know Ed, I don't know Dan, and I don't know Kingsley. So being here this morning and being able to share three wonderful gentlemen with you, that doesn't come with just dumb luck, coincidence, or me doing it all by myself. God has been great. He has been on time. He's always been there for me. And the messages that you'll hear today will hopefully speak to your heart. Whether you believe in God or you don't, hopefully after today, you'll get a little bit closer. So with that being said, we're a little bit closer to talking with Ed Gosek. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. When we come back, the longtime Oswego State Lakers men's ice hockey coach joins me. Stay with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. And now a message from Myers Creek Brewing Company, with locations at their Cazenovia Farm Brewery, Syracuse Inner Harbor Tap Room, and soon-to-be Lake Placid Tap Room.
Well, I think first and foremost, the Feldmeyer family and our team are extremely passionate about what we do. We care very much about what we do. The Feldmeyer family is always investing. Our taproom management team, our brew management team, our marketing management team, and all of the team members that get after it every day, they leave it on the field. They put their heart and soul into it. I know for a fact that everyone that works at Myers Creek wants to be there, and we want them to be there. You know, we want them to feel good about their job. And again, if you've never been to a Myers Creek, especially to the brewery, I mean, I want your eyes to open really big. I want you to see how big of a brand this is. I want you to see where we're going. The sky is the limit, and I feel very proud of that, and I'm very excited about that. When you think of designing a menu for a brewery, it's kind of open to a lot of different interpretations. I mean, you can do American, you can do Asian, you can do Italian, and you just have to find, you know, how that meets that pub style dining experience, that gastropub vibe. And I think it's super fun for us because obviously we know that, you know, everyone in the world's going to sell a pizza or a burger or a french fry, but what can we do to be different? And what can we do to be true to who we are? We are a brewery, you know, a brew pub. So the flavor profiles are kind of all over the place, and I think it's super cool that we have a massive smoker at the brewery in Cazenovia, and we smoke a lot of our products. A delicious smoked turkey. We have barbecue ribs on Sundays. From a pulled pork sandwich to a chicken wing, you go to the Inner Harbor and you go to the Caz location and you'll find similarities in the menu, but also things that are a little different and also kind of fit those different demographics or different communities, and also hopefully just drive you to try every tap room that we have open at some point, because you get a little something different at each one. You know, we understand how hard it is to, you know, work every day and get after it every day, and when you're done at the end of your day, you want to go out and put your feet up in a good ambiance and good environment. So we take pride in that. We make sure that everyone knows that they're very much valued to us.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge, and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item, available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Appreciate you being here where sports meets that thing called life. Ed Gosek coming up here in just a few minutes. And before he does, let's take a look back at the season for men's ice hockey at Oswego State. As I said, 19-6-2 overall inside of their conference of the SUNYAC, 14-4, just shy of a 78% winning percentage inside of their conference here for Division III hockey inside of NCAA play. They've won 5 in a row. They're 11-3-2 on their own ice, and they're 8-3 on the road, and they have not played a neutral game this season. Their upcoming game against Hobart is going to be in 3 days, 9 hours, 40 minutes, and a few seconds ticking away here. You can go on their website and see that time tick down. So I want to go back and look at the season here, and as we're looking at the upcoming game against Hobart, they had a matchup against Hobart in Geneva, New York. So they were on the road in the minor hockey night, youth night, and they lost that 6-1. So this is an opportunity to rematch with Hobart after suffering that loss, and that matchup is going to be on the ice this Saturday, March 7th, as I stated before, back in Geneva in the cooler at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So not only did they lose to Hobart and have an opportunity to avenge that loss in this SUNYAC Championship, but it's going to be played in the same place because they faced Hobart on the road, and they will be on the road again. It's coming up in just a few days. And like I said, 5-game winning streak since losing to Cortland. They've moved on to defeat Morrisville, Fredonia, Buff State on senior night, Buff State again in the SUNYAC tournament, and then Skidmore in the SUNYAC tournament as well. So Ed Gosek just let me know he'll be coming in here momentarily, so we'll bring him on the broadcast to talk about everything that is to come. And like I said, a fantastic season. And you look at the 408 wins he had coming into this season, add in the 19 that he has, and hopefully more to come. That puts him at a plate where he has 427 victories in his career, which is incredible. And now he has 38 ties. And as far as his losses go, which he doesn't have many, he has 148 losses compared to 427 victories. So shout out to Ed Gosek as we continue forward here. And now Gosek, looking back at his history from 2009 to 2019, his team earned 8 NCAA tournament appearances and made 5 consecutive Frozen Four trips. So they're looking to have another electric season continue here with men's ice hockey in the world of Oswego State and in the greater SUNYAC and NCAA, as Ed Gosek's going to be joining us here momentarily. And then we'll have NeapoliDANS at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time and wrap things up with Kingsley Jonathan in our one-on-one conversation. So with that being said, let's bring in the man of the first hour here, that being the one and only Ed Gosek, as we have Ed picture in picture here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Ed, how are you?
I'm good, Dan. Thank you for having me on. Sorry for being a little tardy here. We just got off the ice and no, had a good practice and appreciate you taking the time uh, today.
Absolutely. No apology needed for the man who I said, I don't know if you know this, but as of right now, 427 victories to 148 losses and 38 ties in your career. So I know that the next one is the most important one, but Ed, you've had a tremendous, tremendous history playing for Oswego State, being an assistant, and then being the longtime head coach. And you and I have talked about this before, but what keeps you at Oswego State? What keeps you in this place where you have been not only as a player, as an assistant, but as a head coach for so long?
Love of the school, love of the sport. I've been very blessed and grateful to be given the opportunity back in 2003 by our then president, Deborah Stanley. And, before that, serving as an assistant with both Donnie Younger, my coach here, and George Roll, a good friend of mine. So they're very fortunate to have the experience to work with them, two great role models to follow. And then obviously getting my own opportunity back in 2003. But all of that, just being an alum, right, love for our program, the brotherhood that we have here, the culture that's been developed over the years, the consistency, the support of the school and the community. There's a lot of great places to coach in this country, but I could tell you there's none better than here at Oswego. So, very grateful for it. What's what keeps me going, and obviously the passion. You want to win, not win at all cost. And in today's environment and climate in college sports, I get it. If you're not going to be, I don't want to use the word ruthless, but if you're not going to be aggressive with trying to get players to transfer from other programs and, pushing guys out that maybe aren't as good as that you thought, it was never this way. But unless you make no mistakes in recruiting and you get everyone you want to do that, the old way is getting more and more difficult to maintain the competitiveness that you need to try to win a national championship.
So for you, Ed, I mean, I know the type of caliber of human being you are. We've spent time talking, and I still go back to our fireside chat that we had there when we were at the restaurant sitting in the booth a bunch of years ago. With the ever-changing world, and like you said, in this transfer portal climate of stealing players away and then pushing players out of programs and this, that, and the third, how do you continue to be who you are, the coach that you are, and to bridge the gap of everything that is college athletics, everything that was college athletics? How do you continue to be you in this world that's gotten, as you've alluded to, kind of dirty, kind of murky, and kind of informal?
Well, you stick with your core values, first of all, the players that you recruit. You make sure that, obviously, one, that they have the skill set to help the program, and two, that they take their academics serious, and three would be that you're telling them and their parents that we're going to treat your son no different than I would want someone to treat my own son or daughter. So, to try to follow that and be loyal to players, and in return have them be loyal to you, I think is very important. You hope that, one, the players that are here are having a good experience. You're being upfront, transparent with them on why they're getting the minutes that they are or not in the lineup or on power play or penalty kill or, a third D pairing instead of the first D pairing, or starting goalie, or not playing at all. You try to explain to them so that they understand where you're coming from, and hopefully you can earn their respect by bringing up the reality of it. At that point, if they want to transfer to a school that they think they have a better chance of winning a national championship at, then you know what, so be it. But as far as getting into a routine where you're trying to poach players from other programs, we have not gone down that path. I'm not a believer in that unless a kid has put himself on the portal and has reached out to us, and maybe it's a kid that we had recruited before that we know personally. That's a little different than just going after the top players on other teams within our league or within the area that we know. So I don't have any regrets at this point of how we've handled things or how we've done things. If we do let a player go, it's not because of his ability level. If we goof up on, a recruit from a talent standpoint, then hey, that's ours to live with. If it's something off the ice that we have tried to work with the player and they don't live up to the standards that we have set, then it's time to move on for them. But very simple here. We don't have a lot of rules. Don't, for them to follow. Don't do anything that you would be embarrassed to tell your parents. Don't do anything that you'd be embarrassed to tell the president of our college or to tell us as a staff. So we don't have some big guideline to follow. Just be a good person, do the right things. And that way we're not put into situations of have to dismiss players or let players go. So we live by those, and it's worked for 23 years here as the head coach. We've really not had any issues. Our players understand that, and the culture in which we want to live up to.
And Ed, like you said, I mean, having this culture, you talked about a brotherhood that you felt when you played at Oswego State, a brotherhood as an assistant, a brotherhood as the head coach. What are some of those foundational pillars? I know you talked about we don't have a lot of guidelines, just don't do something that you wouldn't want to tell your parents, the president, or us as a staff. But when we go beyond that and we look at the pillars of this program, forming a brotherhood and keeping a brotherhood they're two different things, right? You can form one and it can dissolve, and you can form one and it can sustain. How would you describe the brotherhood of Oswego State men's ice hockey when we look at alumni, we look at current players, and we look at the future? What is this brotherhood?
Well, it starts right. One, believing from day one with the recruiting process, believing in what it is that we do and how we do it, the commitment, the sacrifices that you make. I would say our program is, I don't know if it's good or bad. We feel it's good. The way in which we do things, it's a college setting and prepare everything no different than if we were a Division I program. The guys are here this morning at 6:30. They're in the weight room 7 o'clock to 7:45. They're on the ice at video 8 to 8:15. They're on the ice 8:15 to 9:15. Then back again this afternoon for special teams 3 to 4, or skill work, goaltending sessions, individual sessions. So it's a commitment by them, and it starts with that. And then the role models in which our returning players set for our underclassmen to understand how we conduct ourselves on campus with our professors in the community, the amount of community service work. Our athletic department won the award last year for the country for community service hours, and our team certainly helped lead the way with that. Each guy had put in over 45 community service hours throughout the course of the year. working with schools, working with handicap, working with different cancer groups, um, different sports, minor hockey associations, you name it. We've tried to do it and help out and give back to our local community.
You just mentioned that not only community service, but that the athletic department at Oswego State led the country last year. What does that mean to you that here in upstate New York and in all of NCAA Division III, we're talking about Oswego State being a beacon of light and hope for the entire nation when it comes to community service?
Well, I think we all understand. I mean, one, there's more, right? I mean, when you graduate here, obviously you want to have a great experience athletically, but how we prepare, young men and young women to go out and not only represent themselves, but their families and the institution in which they come from. I think it speaks volumes that they understand the importance of giving back. And someday, the same way with their children, they'll want someone to give back to their own kids, or they will give back to their own kids. So, no, I think it starts with the top, with our leadership, and with what are the values that are important here on our campus. As you know, Oswego's a small community. The college is a big part of it. So for us to be involved and give back, it works both ways, right? There's a reason we're second in the country for attendance. There's a reason that people are willing to help out and do things that our alums are proud and willing to get involved either financially or through time invested to help our school. So I think, as we always say, long-term greedy. You're not doing things for short-term success by taking shortcuts. So do things the right way. Might not always be perfect. There might be a lot of, you know, uh, pain along the way, so to speak. But we're firm believers in doing things the right way over the long haul. That'll pay dividends to our alums and to the family here at Oswego.
There's over 400 institutions at the NCAA Division III level. To lead over 400 in community service hours and be second in attendance, I mean, that's remarkable. But you said you're looking at long term, not the short term, the effects you can have on others. I mean, it's something that kind of just happens, right, Ed? I mean, you can't control what the other 400 plus schools are doing. You just know what Oswego is going to do. When you reflect and you look back on that and all the success of your men's ice hockey program, but on top of that, leading the country in community service of over 400 schools, being second in attendance of over 400 schools, you don't know that until you know that. But when you see that, it's not just that you're setting a standard for Oswego and for the community or for the state of New York or for the region. You're setting a standard for the whole country. Do you ever reflect on the fact that over 400 schools are in this Division III world of NCAA, and Oswego is leading in a place where it goes far beyond wins and losses, and it goes to just the human factor and how we treat each other?
I think, it's been a long part, of our culture here with the hockey program. The other, sports, sometimes it's no fault of theirs as far as, it's hard to get a large crowd out to a cross country meet or a tennis match or a golf match or, whatever it might be. So we understand that. But those athletes, it's not just us where we have a large facility and you have the impact of season ticket holders and of students attending. So it doesn't matter whether you're, a high attendance sport or not. I mean, we're fortunate that we have a facility and have been able to grow it into that. But I think for other colleges, to get involved in their community, it's, it's a great way, one, for the students personally, also to network for their future. It's also an opportunity for them to be appreciative when you see, what some people go through, battling illnesses and through hard times or through financial hard times. Um, it certainly puts things into perspective on how grateful we are to be able to play a sport that we all, whatever sport it is that you love, and that you have your health. I think it's a great way for them also to look back, and, as we're always mentioning, to reach out to their families. And I started to say earlier, and I got sidetracked there, but just our program's a little different, I would say, than a lot of colleges. I mean, a lot of my friends, the parents drop their sons off their freshman year, and the coach would meet them at the arena or maybe at the dorms, and then, the end of 4 years, they're meeting them again in graduation time. Here, our booster club is very, very active, and the parents are involved with away games, trying to stay at the same hotel, or alumni events on the road where the parents are all invited, to home games with post-game socials afterwards, where they get to meet the other parents and our players' siblings. And so it really grows into a family. And I think that's a big part of it also, the way in which we approach it. It's not always easy for the coaching staff, especially when you have a disgruntled parent who maybe their son hasn't played. Maybe he was a healthy scratch. Maybe he didn't get the minutes that he wants. So that's part of it for us too, right? Being able to be transparent and know that we've addressed it with our players beforehand, and have shown video and have worked with them on what it is that they need to do. But there aren't many of those scenarios where it's difficult. So I think it's a big part of who we are and our culture of our program. I know our parents appreciate it, and they're usually as upset as our players are when they graduate. They've enjoyed the camaraderie and the friendships that they've made with other parents here, within our program.
Yeah, coming here from Ed Gosek here on the broadcast. And Ed, before I let you go, as we are ahead of the championship game for the SUNYAC, and something that you are no stranger to, going to the SUNYAC Championship game as a head coach of this program here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. As we look to what is to come, I reflect also on the fact that this is, I believe, the 14th time that you will lead Oswego State into a SUNYAC title game berth, and you already have 4 SUNYAC championships, one of them coming last season in 2024-25 when you won the championship by defeating Plattsburgh and going back to the NCAA tournament. This upcoming game this time around for 2025-26 pits you against Hobart, who you faced just a little while ago in a game in the same place in Geneva at the Cooler, and that game was a loss. So looking to not only go after a SUNYAC championship, but to avenge what happened last time. Bring me into what you've seen from Hobart, what you saw in that matchup, and then getting the opportunity to go for a SUNYAC title for the 14th time, and this time having the opportunity this specific season to go back to a place that didn't end the way you wanted it to.
Well, start off Hobart, for your listeners. This is their first year within the SUNYAC conference. Both Hobart and Skidmore had joined the SUNYAC conference, State University of New York Athletic Conference. It's the first time we've had private schools join, but in the world of sports nowadays, and schools juggling around to find the best fit for them, we were happy to accept Hobart and Skidmore into our hockey conference. Hobart, the record speaks for itself, 3-time defending national champions. I don't believe they've lost at home at as you referred to it, at their arena, the Cooler, 68 games or something like that. They're undefeated this year. So obviously there's a reason for it. Mark Taylor has done an outstanding job recruiting and developing his culture there. Um, very good team. You know, talented in all positions, right? And if you get through their forwards and their D, they have, you know, statistically, the best goalie in Division III hockey. So it's a tall task for us. We we don't feel the first two games that we played to our potential. I don't want to say we beat ourselves. Hobart's a very good team. They expose your weaknesses. When you turn pucks over, they make you pay. Their special teams are very good, so you have to be disciplined. But with that said, I do feel that, we've had a lot of adversity, not a lot, but we've had points this year of adversity where, we haven't played well. I think it's made us a better team. We've addressed those shortcomings, and arguably we're playing some of our best hockey of the year at the right time. So we look forward to the challenge of going up there Saturday evening. One, it's a difficult arena to play in. It's more of a outdoor venue, small, a smaller type building than ours. That's the first obstacle, is just being mentally checked in with that. And then the second part is each and every shift being focused on what it's going to take to be successful. So we'll have to be at our best, and we welcome the challenge. It's a tough league. We finished second in the league. Hobart won the league, so number two at number one, the way it should be. And we'll bring our best, and we look forward to the matchup on Saturday evening.
Yeah, two matchups against Hobart so far. This will be number 3, and like you said, the second team being Oswego, the first being Hobart in the conference, facing off for the rights to the title of the SUNYAC and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Ed, final note here. It's about what we can control, not the things that we can't. So you spoke about your opponent, but I want to speak about Oswego State. What is it about this team this season, when you look at the entire scope of the Lakers, that makes you believe that they can continue to make a run, have more success? And like you said, we haven't shown everything we got yet. So bring me into what is in that tank for Oswego State.
Well, I think one, just throughout the course of the year, right, you have guys that maybe plateau, or guys that get into a rut or aren't playing up to the expectations that we had set or that they had set for themselves. And to get those guys finally going here the last 2-3 weeks, it's been rewarding, one, for them, that they've stuck with it and have continued to persevere. But I'd say the thing that is apparent to me now is that they have taken ownership of the team. It's not the coach's team. We're here to guide and direct. And every year, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it happens earlier in the season. But the players themselves, it's their team now. They understand. Guys finally understand and accept their roles. Whether it means you're out of the lineup and you have to be the best cheerleader that you can be, and that you push others in practice. Whether it's, you're the best stay-at-home D, you're just defending and distributing pucks and getting pucks out of our zone. Whether you're our fastest guy and you're getting in on the forecheck and creating havoc. Guys at this point have they finally understand what it is that their roles are and how to effectively use their role to help the team. And so that's been the most gratifying part here the last 3-4 weeks, to see them come together, take full ownership of the team, and to accept and understand the roles in which they play to help be successful.
That coming here from Ed Gosek, the growth that we're seeing, the evolution, and now in just a few days to see it all on the ice once again in the SUNYAC Championship. Oswego State heading to Hobart for the SUNYAC title game for 2025-26. Ed, as always, It's my honor and my privilege to even know you and to be able to talk with you. I hope that you and I will be talking very soon about some great news, and hopefully I'll get to see you face to face because it's been too long, my friend. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate all the work that you're doing in the community, the man that you are, and I still haven't forgotten that conversation that we had sitting in that restaurant in that booth.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You're a good man. We appreciate the coverage, and good luck with your show. Anytime that I can ever help out with your show or you personally, please let me know.
Well, Ed, thank you. Those are very kind words, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon. God bless to you and the team.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. That comment from Ed Gosek one more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. He's a good man. So we'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we'll jump right into NeapoliDANS, Episode 9. What has Dan Villari learned from the sport of football? We'll talk about a lot of things, including his faith, his experiences, and just who he is, who he was, and the evolution that continues. All of that's coming up inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios right after this. Stay with us.
To offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and... Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McNerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K9 Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K9 Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K9 Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K9 Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry-loving friend. Right, Lily?
welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. For sales and service, go and see them Monday through Saturday. And, of course, you can always go online to greatlakeshondacity.com. We are here for episode 9 of NeapoliDANS. And, of course, that is Mr. Dan Villari, picture-in-picture with me. 2026 NFL draft prospect at the tight end position. And, of course, myself, Dan Tortora. Every episode has a title and has a purpose. Today's is What Football Has Taught Me. Mr. Villari, how are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. And so, I mean, it seems like you just got through a workout, or it's just warm down in Florida. What's going on?
It's just warm, and when I chill, this is what I wear.
Okay. You know, I feel it. I respect it. I'd like to do the same thing, but I'd have to turn the heat up in my house in order for me to put the tank top on. But, you know, little envious of the fact that you're down. I was just down in Florida myself, but how has the training been going? How's everything been? I know you post a lot about it, and I know you're constantly working and pushing yourself. So how's it been going?
It's been great, man. It's been an unbelievable experience. I learned so much. I got so much better just as a person and as a player. And man, this weather is something. Like, I don't want to go back. I don't know why anyone would ever live anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I want to live here now just because, you know, you wake up every day and it's sunny and warm. And it's just, man, I love it.
That's the thing, man.
I was born for this.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's how I feel. You know, Florida's my second home. So, you know, everything we do with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, when I was just down there, Wake Up Call, Super Powered Pop, Do Diz with Dan, I was doing 3 shows at the same time because, you know, I've done so much work with the great state of Florida and have a lot of connections and love and just, you know, bridges that have been built over a decade and a half pretty much down there. So I get it. I feel it. And I know today's topic is something you were excited to do, just what football has taught you. So I'm going to leave it open-ended. First thing you think of when I say, Dan, football has taught you blank. What's the first thing on your mind?
It's taught me a ton of things. I'm just going to talk about what it's taught me recently, playing at a high level.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind is how to be a man and how to have discipline. And I would just say that because I feel like the definition of a man, right, is someone who wakes up and does what he doesn't want to do, but he does it because he has to do it in order to get what he wants. You know what I mean? So I feel like we go to practice every day.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people don't want to go to practice every day, and it's tough. And you throw your face into each other, and no matter how your body feels, you got to show up every day and perform. But it just teaches you like that ultimate discipline. You know, with all the mental and physical stress, depressing days, like I said, no matter how you're feeling, you have to show up and you have to hit somebody. You know what I mean? So it's like, it relates to life so much, and I feel like I'm ready for the world, man, because I just built that discipline through practicing every day and doing the same thing every day.
Well, you talk about how, you know, being a man is waking up every day, doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, but things that you have to do to get to where you want to get to. You know, it's different to say, you know, you're not saying, hey, get up in the morning and do stuff you hate and waste your life. You're saying that the path to getting what you want, the path to your dreams, it comes with a lot of other stuff. It comes with discipline. It comes with hard work, dedication, determination. You know, a lot of tears, a lot of frustration, a lot of yelling, a lot of moments. I mean, I feel like people see the finished product, but they don't see what it takes to get there. They have no idea what it's like to start a business and be a broadcaster any more than they know what it's like to be a football player in your case. So go a little bit deeper into that you're not saying, hey, do something you hate, but you're speaking more to the, like, there's all of these things under the surface that nobody sees, that if you don't do these tough things, you can't get the good thing.
Yeah, yeah, good thing you brought that up. It's basically like it's like a father wakes up and busts his ass and goes to work every day so he can have a good life for him and his family. You know, he can provide, they can have freedom, they don't have to stress. Um, and I know what I want in life, and I want to be very successful in football. So, you know, I wake up every day and I do extra and I go to practice, and you kind of just, you do the same thing every day because I know what's coming. I know the benefits that are coming from this and my routine and stuff like that. So, um, you know, nothing good ever comes by just sitting around. Um, so yeah, it's just from that, man. Just waking up and suffering. I think as a man we have to suffer, and then when you get those beautiful things, you could sit down and be like, "That was worth it, man." But if you just get it all thrown at you without suffering, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, for you, how would you describe the suffering to getting to where you want to get to?
Sacrifice. You know, sacrificing, going out and having fun, having drinks, eating bad food, stuff that's not going to make me perform, stuff that's not going to change my body, stuff that I love, you know, pasta, meatballs, cutlets, all that stuff, chicken wings, stuff like that. You know, I eat very boring diet, miserable. I drink egg whites. I was sitting at the hot tub today with a carton of egg whites, and I'm drinking it straight up, and it tastes terrible. It's really, it's awful taste. And but I just work out, so I was like, this is what's gonna get me right. This is how I get my protein in today. So yeah, doing that, going to bed early when I hate going to bed early. Waking up, getting to the facility early, reading books before my workout, journaling, praying, just doing the stuff that most kids don't do, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun and it's repetitive and it takes a lot of discipline. And I feel like I've mastered that at this point because I know something's coming. I know it's coming. This is how I've been my whole life, but now it's more detailed. I'm more mature about a lot of things, and yeah, I'm trying to think what other sacrifices I've made. No, I think that's it right now.
Well, I mean, like you said, what you're eating, when you're sleeping, all these things that, you know, it's tough. You want to stay up. You want to go to the movies. You want to go out. You want to, you know, go have fun. You want to be around people. Maybe you want to talk on the phone. You know, there's people that are doom scrolling on their phone in the middle of the night. Like, you know, sleep is something that it's crazy because, like, I can function on no sleep, but it's not that, like, I want to. But when you want something in your life, like, I'll stay up late chasing after something. And then you talk about going to bed early chasing after something, but there's like that thing that you're going after. Like, you're so passionate about it, you want it so bad, you're going to do what you got to do. Like, how did you get disciplined? How did you get to a point of saying, like, yeah, I'm in this hotel room by myself. Mom and dad aren't here. You know, trainer's not sleeping in the room next to me here. I could do whatever there's no coach calling me. There's no room checks. Like, I can go do whatever I want. How did you get so disciplined?
You know, it's funny because I watched a Tom Brady interview recently, and he talked about how his work ethic and his discipline, like, it came from his heart. You know what I mean? It wasn't like anybody taught him that. It was just in him. And like I've talked about on previous episodes, like, I think it's just been in my heart, and that's just who I am, and that's just who I've always been. So it's not hard for me. Certain things are really hard.
Yeah.
But with the the discipline that I have in my heart, like the motivation I have in my own self that no one needs to give to me has just been there. And I thank God every day for it because He gave it to me, and it's rare. And I got this tattoo one of one on my wrist, and it's not because I'm a Division I athlete or I'm going to the NFL or stuff like that. It's because of that discipline and that work ethic that sits inside me.
Yeah.
That I don't know how it came there. I don't know how it got there. So yeah.
And you talk about the tattoo one of one.
Yeah.
For you, why was it so important that you're like, I'm going to put this on my body forever? Like, why did you want one of one to physically be on you?
I just always knew I was different. There's hundreds of Division I athletes, right? There's hundreds of great athletes, successful people, but I always felt like there was something different inside me, some kind of fire that doesn't go away. And I have trouble sleeping because of it. Like most people can have a great day and accomplish so much and relax and sit on the couch and just relax. Yeah. And I can't. Like sometimes I don't relax. So I just always felt like I feel like I think differently than a lot of people my age. I like hanging out with older guys, older dudes that are chasing stuff.
Yeah.
I get along with older people like a lot because I'm just curious. I've always been very curious around successful people, and I'm just kind of like a sponge. Like if somebody successful tells me something, I'm like, okay, tell me more. Like I don't have an ego in that aspect because I'm looking for every single pointer or piece of advice I can get to be great, and that's just something that's been inside me.
You talk about having that desire to learn from other people and not having an ego and wanting to be around older people, people that have been chasing something, people that are getting after it. It sounds like you want to be around maturity. Were you always more mature? Do you always kind of feel like I'm an older soul? I've been here a lot longer. I know you're smiling while I'm saying it. So, I mean, is that something that...
Don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm one of the goofiest guys under the sun.
Yeah.
I love joking around. I'm stupid. I'm half stupid. But, like, I know how to lock in. When it comes down to, like, my dreams and my goals, I don't play around.
Yeah.
But, I'm a very, jokeable guy and fun guy. So yeah, what was your question?
No, just the being an old soul, feeling like you have some type of connection to, like, hey, yeah, I goof around, I joke. Because listen, I'm saying it in the sense of like I consider myself an old soul. I was thinking about college when I was 6 years old, but I'm also a guy that wants to make you laugh and joke around, and that my personality, but I'm saying like living in that world of, do you gravitate toward older people because you feel like a part of you evolved, beyond where you just feel like an old soul, like the things I want, the things I desire, like as much as I'm goofy, I just, I'm looking deeper at life because there's a maturity that you're kind of speaking to there.
Yeah, exactly what you just explained. I feel like as much as I love to laugh and goof off, in my heart, I think about life all the time. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm like interested in serious stuff, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of funny. I thought about this today. Like a lot of kids my age we all listen to rap, right? And a lot of kids listen to like Young Boy and stuff like that. But I listen to like a lot of J. Cole because I don't know if you know music, Dan, like that, like rap music like that. But J. Cole speaks about like real life, and like coming from nothing and the real struggles of life, dealing with women. And if you listen to his lyrics, like he actually speaks truth. Like he's an old soul too, and he speaks like the truth. And I don't know, I love J. Cole for that. And not a lot of kids my age listen to him at all. So that's just an example of like how I'm an old soul. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have a desire. You see things deeper.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like you can joke around, but you see. Has football given you that too? Like, do you feel like being around football and being around the sport specifically, has it changed you, affected you? Like, I know you talk about, hey, God made me this way. Like, there's a discipline to me that like I was just born with. But what did football specifically like do to you, to your personality? I mean, how do you flow with football?
I don't think it. I don't think football. I think if I'm in any field of life, I would be this way.
Yeah.
I've just always been curious. Um, I feel like sometimes I asked so many questions when I was younger that I sounded like I didn't know anything because I was asking so many questions. But now I feel like I know a lot and I'm very knowledgeable because of how curious I was growing up.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say football changed anything, but I saw what being great at football can do for my life. The kind of freedom I can have from that.
Yeah.
But the first question you asked me about what football has taught me, I actually have two more things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So the second one would be like football is so competitive, and the world is very competitive.
Yeah.
So I feel like football is this competitive sport with high testosterone men in it, constant competition, arguments, physical fights, and I feel like it really teaches you toughness and you discover who you are. I feel like in college I discovered who I was. I came in as a little puppy, and I always thought I was tough, but I always thought I wanted to be a certain type of person. But once you get put through the ringer and once you go through all that competition and intensity, you realize like, are you a punk or are you real? So I feel like that's something that you really learn from football.
Yeah, like you said. I mean, what were you gonna say?
And then life is easy. Like you step into other areas of life and you're a dog. Like,
Yeah.
you feel like nothing can break you. You've been, when you step into other places in life, you're not around a bunch of crazy high testosterone like animals, like dogs that just are doing whatever it takes to
Yeah.
get it. So yeah, what were you saying?
No, just like, so how do you balance it? You know what I mean? Like you said, your football has taught you how to deal with like high octane, high test. I mean, people want to kill you on the field. I mean, there's certain
Yeah,
people out there that
exactly.
are just friggin' animals, and like they want to hit you, they want to knock you down. They want you to feel pain. They're taking something out. Girlfriend broke up with them. Now they're gonna run through you. Somebody passed away in their family. Now they're gonna step on you. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're living in that world, how do you come back to the real world? Like, how do you? I've always thought about this. Like, how does a football player push a cart in a grocery store and smile and go, "Oh yeah, I'd like some bananas whenever you're ready." Like, I mean, how do you juggle between like I'm an animal, I'm like this predator, and then
Yeah.
I'm walking around the grocery store trying to figure out, what I'm gonna make for dinner.
Yeah, I guess you just gotta have that balance. You gotta be smart. I think football is a great opportunity to let out your masculine energy and anger
Yeah.
from whatever's going on in your life. That's why I think football is great. Um, I feel like, most boxers are, had a crazy life growing up and they go in the boxing gym and that's how they get away from all the bad stuff. And, you just got to have that balance. I always feel like that saying, kill someone and carry a baby in the same day. Like, you should be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you should have that, not literally, but
Yeah.
you should have that mentality. Like I can go on the field and be an animal and kill the man in front of me, but then I can go home and carry a baby or, tell someone I love them. It's just, being mature and growing up and having that switch.
How do you perfect the switch though? Like how do you
Yeah.
make sure what you're not this lethal person at home and then a puppy on the field? Like how do you make sure that the switch turns on in the right places?
Uh, you know what? I wasn't always great at that. In my younger years, I think I had a hard time balancing that.
Yeah.
But I guess the older you get and the lessons you learn, you got to do some stupid stuff to learn. And I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons, and you just realize what's important, what not to do, and what to do.
Yeah.
Um, so I think you don't start off like that with the perfect switch,
Yeah.
but you have to learn how to control it, and then yeah, that just comes with time. I think there's no way to control that from a young age.
So through trial and error of working through this and trying to find that, like you said, you haven't always been good at that. What experience or two through football was like a wake up call essentially for you, like a moment for you to go, okay, like this is where I elevate, this is where I grow, this is where I'm at the crossroad, and because they say that God will force you to learn the same lesson until you do something differently. So, with talking about what football's taught you, in those moments where you're like, hey, I wasn't at my best, what experience or experiences can you go back to say like, God gave me the test that I kept failing, and then here I am back at the crossroad, and I finally went in the right direction.
I don't know. I guess you could say um, when I was a quarterback, I was fighting for my life to get on the field, and but maybe I wasn't living right off the field. Maybe I wasn't speaking good words. I wasn't thinking good thoughts. Maybe I wasn't treating people how I should have been. And it's not even something I learned in that time. It's something I learned now. Um, and I look back and I'm like, you worked really hard.
Yeah.
And, for the most part, I treat everybody good. But I was like, I don't know if I deserved the blessings at that time. I don't know if I was mature enough. I don't know if God thought I was mature enough to receive blessings at that time. Because I just remember how I used to think back then, and I was a little arrogant. So and now I just think completely different. So I think I wasn't ready at that time.
What did it? What was a moment or two that just kind of hit you like, I can't be this way anymore?
Um, I don't know. I guess just when the things came to me in my life that I wanted for so long, you kind of just the hate in your heart kind of just flushes out of you. You're like, oh, finally got it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's really just comes down to maturity. Like it really just comes down to growing up. And like I said, when I came into college, I didn't really have an identity. I really feel like I didn't really know who I was, who I wanted to be. I was trying to get in with this clique and that clique, and I wasn't really myself all the time. And 3-4 years into college now, all right, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
And no matter, I'm going to be this guy all the time, and people are going to flock to me. I'm not going to look to flock to anybody. They're going to flock to who I am, and I'm just going to be this way. And I think that's something I think about a lot. I was finding myself. Freshman year, walking into Michigan's locker room, I didn't know who I was. I really didn't. I thought I was the man, but I wasn't yet.
So you have those moments of, I want to be with these people, I want to be in this clique, I want to be over here. And you said, I went from, I need to flock to them, to, I'm going to be me and let people flock to me or not, but I'm going to be myself. How did you break away? Because we live in a society where people sometimes look at quantity over quality. The more people I have around me, the cooler I am, the better I am. I got to have stuff, right? I got to have a ton of stuff, a ton of money, a ton of people. Just got to keep getting more and more and more and more and more, but it's not really the quality of it. So how did you start to choose quality over quantity? How did you come to a place of, instead of me flocking to others, I'm going to do me, and if they want to flock to me, fine, but I need to do me. Like, my identity can't last inside of somebody else. It's got to be, my identity's got to be my own. I can't make my identity based on who I attach myself to.
Yeah, it just comes down to getting older, bro. Like, just maturing, and you don't really know how life works in, freshman year of college.
Yeah.
You have no clue. All I thought about was, I'm going to be the starting quarterback. I'm going to get all this money. I'm going to go to the NFL. I'm going to be the man. But you have no idea how to get there. You have no idea what it really takes to get there. And you don't know how connected you are to the universe. What you put out is what you're going to receive. And I was not putting out the right things, I feel like. So yeah, it comes down to growing up and realizing how to be the right way to be.
So
and then blessings start appearing left and right.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you and I, when we first talked on the field, our first interview during fall camp for Syracuse, you talked about, we just kind of like went right into your faith within a few minutes, and you were like, I had to kind of find my faith. I had to grow in my faith. I had to go to God. Like, I wasn't necessarily there, but I had to get there. And that was our first conversation, was like, I kind of had to break down to find myself. I had to not feel great, and I had to go to him. So, like, what made you go to him? Like, you keep talking about maturity, you keep talking about growth, keep talking about, hey, you just got to grow up, you just got to go through it. But some people never grow up. Some people never learn the lesson. So what made you go to God?
I had to be his plan all along, man. I don't know. Just through trials and tribulations, and I didn't understand what was happening to me, but I never stopped working. I never stopped believing. The one thing I always had was faith. I had unquestionable faith about me going to the NFL. And that's something I always kept with me. So I think that's most important.
And you keeping that faith, who are you today? I mean, in closing, what have you grown to be? Who is Dan Villari? You've had to mature. You went through hardships. You went through adversity. You said once you started once you started trusting God and
leaning on him instead of having this ego or thinking you're the man or chasing other people. You said, once I leaned on God, all the blessings came in. So like, people are watching and listening right now and they're saying, Dan, I'm lost. I'm confused.
You think so?
Yeah. No. I'm saying people saying to you, like, I don't think God's listening to me. I don't think God exists. I don't think he's here. You know, like they're saying how do you know when you're going in the right direction? How do you know? So like, who are you today and how do you know you're going in the right direction? Because somebody watching us right now is saying, I don't believe in God because he doesn't talk to me, and or he I don't hear him, or he doesn't listen, or nothing's changing. So what would you say about who you are today, and what would you say to somebody that's sitting here saying like, dude, I don't think he hears me.
I mean, I would say whatever you want to be in life, you need to think like that all the time, no matter what. Every day, like you need to think your life into existence. Write it down. Like write your life down. I write every single day. Um, yeah, I would just keep praying, and it's so hard it's so hard to have all the right answers because I'm still working through everything, and
Yeah.
I don't even know how I even got here. All I know is I put in the work and I prayed and I knew I was always different, and I started growing up and I started learning new things and learning how important it is to be close to God. And one thing I would tell somebody is read the Bible, like learn the Word, meditate on the Word, read verses. I'm starting to read verses all the time because it speaks truth into your life. Um, you know, meditate on God's Word, and yeah, that's it, man. I don't even know. It's so crazy, bro. I don't even know how I'm here, bro.
Well, I'll tell you how you're here. You leaned on the only one that could get you here. So who are you today?
I'm just who am I? I'm somebody who's not perfect, but I'm finding ways to be perfect. But I'll never be perfect. But the more I try,
Yeah.
I'm just getting so much better every day. And I think I'm just a confident dude who's really humble inside. Like some people may think I'm cocky or think this, but I think I just want so much for my life that it comes off that way. But if you just sit down and talk to me, I feel like I'm more humble than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm selfless. So yeah, I'd say those things.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, like, you're reflective. I mean,
Yeah, reflective is a good one.
these conversations that we have, it makes me want to be intentional when we have time. Like when you and I are in the same place, that, whatever your schedule, my schedule is, that we just, I just invite you to the house and we just sit on the couch and we just talk. Because I think like that's the you, like when you're just sitting and when you're just like the ideas that you go back and forth with somebody and you feel safe and you feel open. And when we're when we're talking like we are right now, it makes me want to do that. It makes me want to be like, I just kind of like the next time Dan and I are in the same spot, I want to sit with you and I just want to talk about what's on our mind at that time. Because they say wherever two people are together for the Lord, that is where he is. And I just feel like we have a view on life that's so much like beyond the surface. And like you said, if somebody just sits down with me, and that's why I love doing NeapoliDANS, because we have a bond and you're different and you challenge me. And I think you challenge people that are watching and listening, and you're going to challenge yourself. But I feel like off of these relationships, these conversations, all this stuff, I'm like, we gotta do some stuff in person, whether or not it's on the air. We just have to have these, because I do. I mean, it provokes me to just kind of sit with you and be like, well, what do you think about this? You know, or let's read this Bible verse and let's talk about it. I feel like there's so much more to you, that you're not a football player. You're Dan Villari who happens to play football. And I feel like this is the whole point of why we're doing NeapoliDANS, is so people can know you, know your journey, know like what it is about, like your essence. And, you know, to your credit, it makes me want to sit down with you and just like talk about whatever.
Yeah, I love that. Love sit downs.
So we will make sure pro day or whenever that we do a sit down, and we have some time together over some pizza, give you a little cheat day, but you know, something that we can do, or I'll cook. But you know, we definitely have to do something, because I gotta thank you, Dan. I mean, you're calling out to something inside of me that's, it's like you're opening a door where God is looking at me going, I'm talking to you. And I feel like when a human being can open God into your life even more, that person is a very, very powerful, well put together person. And as you fight to be better every day, when you bring God into my life, to me that speaks volumes of who you are. And I think you bringing that into a locker room, into a family, into, you know, a meal, I mean, that's going to be so much more. And an NFL team they're going to benefit from that. I've been in locker rooms where there's so much talent, but so much drama and strife and just bad news bears. And then I've been in locker rooms where I'm like, man, I could sit with this guy and just like be in silence, because I can feel like the air around him is different. So I feel like, you know, you bring that in, and not to be long-winded, but I feel like you bring God into people's lives. And I think that's going to be something that's going to take you so much farther than a touchdown. I mean, you'll get those, but you know, it's kind of like running through the end zone and then like out of the building.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's what it's about. It's about being around like-minded people, and just being positive and just wanting more for each other. And it's funny because right before you hit me up to do this show, I was thinking about, I wanted to become a better public speaker. And I was, you know, asking around. I was asking my friend who's in business, and I was like, how can I get better at like interviews and public speaking and just being around a crowd and speaking well. And, you know, long story short, I didn't really know where to go. And then literally a week later, you hit me up and you're like, hey, you want to start this show with me and you every week? And I'm like, yeah, it's a great opportunity for me. So you gave me an opportunity to get better at something in my life. And it's therapeutic, you know, just letting stuff out, because sitting up in here alone, you know, for the past 2 months is not easy. And this definitely helps. So thank you.
Amen. Who are we if we're not there for each other? and that means a lot coming from you, your words, and it holds a lot of weight with me. So thank you. But that's just God, man. It's just God working back and forth. And that's what it is. I mean, he's purposeful, and if you open yourself to him, he will bring you to places and he'll make things happen. When he knows what's on your heart and on your mind, he's like, all right, well, if you listen to me, that's why I always say, God, guide me and guard me. And, you know, guide me toward you, guard me from everything that's not you. And then I say one step further, your will over my want. Like, I want you to stop me and shift me if I'm going towards something that I really, really want. And you're going, yeah, no, I got better. Get out, no. I would rather God tell me no and cry over it for a week than God be like, yeah, go ahead, go down there, and then mess up my life for a year. So, it's just, I think it's like you said, it's suffering. It's being a servant. It's chasing your dreams, but then it's also getting on your knees every day and saying to God, whatever I am, whatever I'm working toward, to you be the glory. And that's the big part of it, is to God be the glory. And that's how we live. You and I don't just point up because it's cool to do. We point up as a reverence of saying, we know that I'm not here today if you didn't get me there. Like I don't reach the end zone without your hand on my heart. So I appreciate the conversations as always, and I always look forward to the next one.
Me too, brother. Well said, bro.
Thank you. Well, thank you for everything. And anytime you need me, and we'll keep going with this. What football has taught Mr. Villari in this edition of NeapoliDANS, episode 9. You can catch every episode of NeapoliDANS with myself and Dan Villari by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, and you will find the playlist NeapoliDANS in every single episode. As always, brother, I send my love to you and to the family. I look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and in those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open for sales and service Monday through Saturday, and you can go and see them all the time online at greatlakeshondacity.com. I'm picture in picture with one of my favorite humans I've met in this road of living my dreams every day, doing what I love and love what I'm doing, and that's Kingsley Jonathan. Kingsley and I started talking when he was coming into Syracuse in his recruitment and through the process, his time at Syracuse and then on to the NFL. And he spent numerous years, we're like year 6, I think we were talking about off the air now. And so he's a Syracuse Orange alum. He's now an NFL defensive lineman with the New York Jets. He's found his way into different places. And I mean, God has been so good, looked so kindly on his life, and I'm really proud of it. So with that being said, Kingsley, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great, DT. Good to be back. Good to see you. I'm good to be back on the screen right here.
Yeah, it's good to have you back here on Wake Up Call. And, when I celebrated 21 years in broadcasting, I reached out to you and was like, hey, just want to let you know, this is what's going on. And you had said to me, like, hey, if I can make it, because it was during the NFL season, you're like, if I can make it, I'll be there. And, scheduling, it's tough at that time, but you sent a video, and I just, I can't thank you enough, man, because, like, I always feel the love, even if it's, like, 3 words from you. I always feel, like, genuine love and appreciation, and it means a lot to me that, you and I have had this bond for so many years, and it meant a lot to me that you were a part of that celebration, so I want to say thank you for that.
No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. That's a big milestone. So I'm proud of, how long you've been doing this and what you've accomplished throughout the way, So just excited to be just a little bit small part of it,
Well, big part of it to me. Most important thing before we talk anything about football is my guy got engaged.
Yeah.
And he did it in Hawaii. So bring me into the whole plan. I want to live vicariously through you because, God clearly, God is love. So if you have love, you have God. And so I think love is the greatest gift that we can give to anybody. And so I'd love to share the love that you have found and the story that's unfolding.
Yeah, it's been somebody that I've been really close to, somebody that has meant a lot to me for a long time. And it's been a long time coming. It was something that a ring that I purchased a long time ago and just waited for the perfect opportunity. People keep telling me there's no perfect opportunity. So so we did it when we went to the trip to Hawaii. I planned it out. She didn't see it coming. She'd tell you she did, but she didn't see it coming at all. It was on a nice setting on the beach, and so yeah, it was a very beautiful and lucky moment. Very blessed moment to be able to share that with somebody that I care very deeply about. So yeah, I'm excited for like the next step for us. Yeah.
And being together for a bunch of years, you said that she told you, like, I knew this was going to happen, and you're like, nah, she had no idea. How did you plan it out, and how did you try to be sly about it?
I think I had a friend of mine plan it out. So I was just giving like input here and there, and she planned it out. And I think where she started suspecting is when I had her get her nails done, because she doesn't usually care about that. She just so I insisted she should get her nails done, and she said she got suspicious then, and then I think that's what gave it away a little bit. But after that, I kept it under wraps, and I was able to surprise her a little bit, at least. So, but yeah, we just blessed to take that next step together, and looking forward to what comes next.
How long did you have the ring?
Close to 5 to 6 months that I bought it, and then I was sitting on it, just waiting for the right time.
And you said that you were looking for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, and people kept saying like, "There's no perfect, just make the moment the moment." When did
Yeah.
you finally say like, "Okay, like I gotta just let it happen"? Because I mean, it says a lot about how you feel about her that you wanted
Mhm.
everything to be perfect. But when did you finally kind of come to terms with like the moment doesn't have to be perfect for it to be a perfect moment?
Well, like it was when we booked the trip, and I was like, okay, this has got to be it. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can hold on to this any longer. I mean, I hit it well in the house. She would never have found it in however years, but after we booked the trip, and then we started making arrangements to make it happen. During our visit there, because it's a beautiful setting, beautiful place, and we love it there, and um, it felt like the right moment.
So she tells you she thought she knew. How did you make it a surprise? You said you felt like you got to surprise her a little bit. So what did you do to try to preserve that element of surprise?
She knew nothing about like where we were going or um, how it was gonna look or what we were gonna do. She was she said she kind of suspected when we were going to we were going to like a picnic
Yeah.
on the beach. Um, so it was I didn't talk anything. I didn't say anything about it. We didn't bring up ring engagement, none of that. I didn't bring it up. I was just chilling. She was surprised on how, stoic I was to it before it happened. I was just locked in. Didn't give anything away. I mean, I was a little, the usual jitters and everything, but she said she didn't notice it. So that was a good job for me by hiding it well until the deed was done.
Well, and there's this thing, Kingsley, about when you're a football player, you're like a trained killer, but
Hmm.
then you have to like go to the grocery store and be a normal person that gets bananas, and
Hmm.
you got to drive your car not like through people, but like, you know what I mean? It's like I don't think it gets talked about enough, and I spoke with Dan Villari about this as well, but like we don't discuss enough the switch that a
Yeah.
football player has to have. So how do you go from I'm this lethal defensive player that is going to go through everyone on my way to get that football, and then I'm going to get down on my knee and I'm going to smile and I'm going to say all these like sweet things to the woman that I
Yeah.
love?
I mean, it takes the right person to get you there. It definitely is the person. And that is like a big jump. It's something that, football players learn to, you can't bring, to an extent, you can't bring work back home with you. You can't bring all that aggressiveness, all that violence, and all that, like you describe, all that mentality. As soon as you watch the film, take a shower, sit in your locker for a little bit and relax. You just gotta leave it there. Then you gotta go home and like appreciation and like
Yeah.
excited. You have to like it has to be like a kind of change. It doesn't just happen. You have to actually think about it and actually do it because it's very easy. I mean, easily as plenty times I've after games or after practices, I'm like thinking of like a couple plays and I'm just so mad at a couple plays and can't go to sleep or
Yeah.
uh, um, um, things like that. So it's something you have to, actually work on and think about. It's time to like, turn it down and it's time to be with somebody or be with a family or if you have some of the guys, especially some of the guys that have the kids and coming home to like a big house with a lot of kids, you can't have that kind of energy. You have to have a very, very positive and reassuring energy when you get back home, because that's the only time they've seen you
Yeah.
for that day. So that's what big in remember, they didn't see what happened in practice. They didn't see what happened in meetings. They didn't see what happened while you were gone. What they see is what you present when you come back home. So we try our best, to bring home that, positive and that, you know, reassuring attitude,
How do you do it? Like you said, it takes a certain person to be able to do it. But how do you? I mean, nothing is ever perfect, right? But
Mhm.
how do you work that craft? Like, how have you
Yeah,
gotten to a point where it's like I'm not two different people, but I
yeah,
know how to
you know,
shift from one place to another.
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my transition time is my driving back. Sometimes when I have shorter drives, it's not enough transition time. So sometimes when I get back home, I need like good 30 minutes or an hour, like to decompress. Like to an extent, leave me alone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, but after that, decompress, because your body's still tired, you're fatigued, limbs are tired, arms, brain is tired, getting from the film, from watching all this, from studying all this, So you just need that decompression time, and then after that, get back into it.
So you say like, hey, sometimes my drive is longer and that's good, and sometimes it's shorter,
Mhm.
and I just need more time when I get home. What do you
Mhm.
do in the car? Like, how do you decompress? Is it music? Is it prayer? Is it windows down even if it's negative 12 degrees outside? Like, what helps your
Um,
decompression chamber essentially?
yeah, most recently it's been a lot of, appreciation, a lot of appreciation, like thanking God and really appreciating what I have, where I am, what I'm able to do, what He's given me. A lot of appreciation. I don't listen to music driving most of the time. Um, I just like to be my thoughts most of the time. So those like only thing I think about at that point is like, thank God, thank you for this, thank you for that. It's like it's a blessing to be able to do this or have this to be in this position, to come from where I'm coming from, or to do from the position I've come from like, you know, being undrafted from this situation, or um, um, play football for this long, or this and this, or just appreciation. And when I'm not, doing that, it's just I really don't listen to music. I just um, the car ride at home is just relaxed. It's just no music, no sound. And I like driving too. So I like my cars. I like driving. So anytime I get to listen to the engine or listen to something that's not sounding right, those little things,
Yeah.
like I'm excited to listen to. Like I'm fine driving freaking hours without music. So uh, that's it. That's a lot. That's most of the thing. That's most of the things that I do.
Well, you say here with Kingsley Jonathan inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, you say that you have this gratitude. How do you have when practice doesn't go the way you want it to go, when a team says, "Hey, we're going to cut you, or we're going to put you on the practice squad, or we didn't like how you look today, or just whatever happens, something happens in life." When you're navigating adversity, how do you stay grateful
Mhm.
in adversity?
Yeah. Prayer. That's the biggest one. Reminding myself that I could easily be at home and not have this opportunity to show this. So that, and like for the most part, like everything that I put on film, like I'm leaving it all out there. I don't ever want to leave the building and tell myself like, I didn't really give it all I have.
Yeah.
And that's like, it could end that day, it could end the next day, it could end a week from now, and I'm leaving that, you know, um, that you can't leave like those kind of things on film, So it's like personally, I would, I would say what I'm known for is like I'm giving my full effort, like regardless of the situation, regardless of practice, this and that. So I know in my heart that I've done everything that I can do. So whatever happens, I'm void of any negative feelings to an extent. It still hurts, but
Yeah.
when I know that I've put everything I have out there, I didn't shortchange this. I know I didn't shortchange that. Like even if when I get cut, like when it's happened, it's like all those meanings is like they don't really have a reason to cut me. It's just not because I did this wrong or did that wrong. It's never been that. It's been we drafted this guy and we don't have room for this guy. So like the I'm gonna say 2-3 times, it's been that. So it's just giving myself the peace of mind to say that I put my best foot forward. So whatever happens, it's not me. It's God's plan. So it's just trusting in God's plan and praying and believing that there is a reason for this, and I know that I belong out there on that field. And not losing that belief in yourself. That's very important. One of my vets when I was a rookie, Ely, um, in Buffalo, he's been cut like a good number of times. So the first time I got cut, I was talking to him about it, man. He's like he had like a different disposition than I did because he's like you put everything you have out there on that tape, on that field. If you get cut, it's not you at that point. It's just find another way. You know what I'm saying? So, um, learning from vets and how to handle those kind of situations too helped a lot because normally it's like you get released, it's like you start internalizing it and thinking to yourself and overthinking like, why did I do this? What happened to this? Why did I do this? But as long as you can give yourself that peace of mind that you did everything you did everything you could. Like after that, it's just God's mapping out your next step.
Well, and the thing, like, you're talking about, hey, if I do everything to the best of my ability that's in my control, that's good enough. Even if it's not for this place or this person, it's all I got. And, I feel like we spend most of our lives trying to control what we can't.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with, I did everything I possibly could. I gave it all out there. I prayed to God. I worked hard. I left it all out in the field, and this team doesn't want me, or this coach doesn't see it. Like, how do you deal with, I did everything I thought I could possibly do right, and then this thing out of my control didn't work out? Like, how do you handle that? Because I feel like that's where a lot of people in life struggle with, I gave everything to this relationship, it failed. I gave everything to this friendship, it didn't work. I gave everything to this job, they still didn't want me. So how do you not like get down in the dumps and depressed when you give it in your control and then out of your control somebody goes, yeah, we don't want you here?
Yeah. Good question. Because like I mentioned, when you give it all and this happens in the inverse way, it can get to you because you did give it all and it still happens. I would say you got to take your time. You got to take time. You got to take your 24 hours and be mad. You got to be mad because I get pissed like when it doesn't turn out the way that I hoped, especially when I think or thought it should have went differently. So you got to I give myself like good few hours. Sometimes could climb up to 24 hours. Just been mad, just been pissed, and just been like,
Yeah.
And then after that, what can I control? What is out of my control? It's nothing I could do. Um, you just gotta trust. Biggest word there is trust in God. And like, if God in the Bible, it says, God wants us to work hard. God doesn't want people to be lazy. He tells us to put your hands into something and make the most out of it. That's how you praise Him. That's how you worship Him. So if I worship God on that field by pushing myself to the best as I can, taking advantage and being appreciative of this opportunity, and it doesn't work out, that's His plan. That's where I see it from. It's God's plan. You just gotta trust that next step is out of your sight for now, but it's in His sight. So
Yeah.
that is what helps me. That is what, because this past season was probably my toughest season, because I started with Houston in OTAs. I got released. They signed a couple of DBs. Got released. Then got picked up by the Jets. I did mandatory mini camp there, and then they signed. They wanted me to come back, and then I came back and did training camp there. Did my training camp there. Did preseason there, and then I got released. And then tough situation there. Couldn't. Teams that wanted to sign me had this person sign back with them. So it was just, everything was just falling through. And I wasn't void of opportunities. I had at least 6-7 workouts during the time, because I wasn't signed for like the first 13, 14 weeks of the season. I wasn't signed with anybody. So, but I still had workouts. I went to Washington, I went to Cleveland, I went to San Fran, I went to so I can't remember more of the teams that I went to, because it was like, so it was at least 6 teams. So that was like a very tough time, because I'm back home training, and like not playing, So trusting that He has a plan was the biggest thing. And then Buffalo called. So I went back to Buffalo. I did a short workout with them, and they signed me back. I was there for a week, and then somebody got hurt. They had they brought in, they had to bring in somebody else, so they released me. I mean, it's still all love. Then the week after they released me, I was back home, and then the Jets called me back. Had a short workout. I didn't finish the workout, but they signed me back. So I was with the Jets the last 4 to 5 weeks of the season, and before the last game against Buffalo, they signed me to a 2-year contract. So I ended up playing Buffalo with a Jets uniform on, after I was just at Buffalo, and I was there for 3 years, and then so that was just a roller coaster of a season for me. And it's just that at that point, it's very easy to just start asking yourself, why is this happening, and getting down on yourself. But you can't do that. There's no positive that can come from that, none whatsoever. Even managing, families like down, and this and that. But you can't ever get down in those kind of situations. There's no positive that comes from that, and you just gotta really. And it really helped my faith during that time. I got closer to God. I got learned more about myself. Our relationship got better. We got closer to God. So it was a time that was crucial in my faith and family, and while still training, with nobody calling. I mean, people are calling, but with nobody ready to pull the trigger, so So stuff like, I mean, that's as I think that's as tough as a season I've had since I've been in the NFL. So being able to come out of it at least and finish in the team and sign a contract, a 2-year contract. Um, I signed to 53-man roster in that same year that I wasn't playing for like the first 14 weeks of the season. So trusting that God's plan is what's,
Yeah.
best. So yeah, you could see like I kept my bag packed that whole because it was fly out Monday, workout Tuesday, like almost every other week. So I didn't unpack my bag for the most part. So I mean it was a trying time, but I never at once lost faith that, it was all part of the plan.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the background on all of that, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like you said, I got closer to God, my faith got stronger, my now fiance and I, we got closer to God together. How do you get closer to God when things aren't going your way?
Reading the Bible. Um, there's a particular passage in the Bible. I'm sorry if it's disconnected, so I can find it and read the exact word for word that stood out to me. Um, um, and getting what's my faith like, and all that was like something that I prioritized, and and then I read this passage. He said, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Um, so it's like, who am I to not be grateful that I got to play in the NFL, or that I still having the opportunity to go work out in NFL teams, and teams are still calling me like, we really like you, but we don't have a room right now. Like, that is something to still be grateful for, being alive, having my limbs, no injuries, being able to be explosive, rush the passer, being able to be who I am, having this, being in a great relationship. And like, there's a lot of things to be thankful for. So I don't focus on the things that is being, how should I put it? The thing that is not working out yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the thing that I just look at every other thing that I'm thankful for, things that I've been blessed with, people that I've been blessed with, family, friends. Like, there's a lot for me to be thankful for me to be down on myself for that. Like, I've always been an optimist, so, and it kind of changed my perspective. Not changed, but enhanced and took it to another level. That optimism, just giving thanks. That I feel like that pushes away the regret, the anger, the resentment of like, this should be happening to me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if anybody's going through something like that, it's just having faith and being thankful for what you have and what you're able to do.
Well, you've always had a strong faith, and whenever we talk, it always comes through. Like, you just, even when you waver or however you waver, because we all have moments, but like, you bend, but you don't break. And, this past season, did you have a moment or two where you're just like, man, God, I know you love me. I know you got me. I know I'm living your plan, but like, did you have a weak moment or two? And if you had a weak moment or two, like, how did you get through those moments?
Yeah, I think I had a couple weak moments. I'm not gonna mention the teams, but like, I went to 2 workouts where I blew everybody in there out. Out of the workouts I went to, so a few workouts that I was just there. I was very active, very explosive, doing what I need to do. It's just like, and the team, like, based on what they needed, they needed a sign at the end, and Like I felt like I fit what they needed, and I didn't get signed, and I had to fly back and explain to the family like, oh, I just didn't get it again. It starts to take a toll on you, doing that. So it's just those moments were the toughest.
Yeah.
Like after the workout, I like call like, hey, I did a really good job. I really did this well, did that well. I think it's a good chance I'm going to sign, and you don't sign, and you're flying back home. Um, that was the toughest part, as you put it, like a little breaking point. Uh, but as I said, once it gets that bad, give yourself 2 hours, an hour, and be mad. I mean, anger is an emotion, is a valid emotion, so
Yeah.
it's okay. Be mad. I was mad. I was pissed. I was pissed. Uh, but then you get back home, you see people that you love and care about, see what you've been blessed with, you know, what you're able to do, still being healthy and still being able to rush the passer, still being able to be explosive. You know, that gratitude comes back, and replaces that anger. So it was like a loop for a good couple times where it's like I'm like, damn, I have this, I should have this job, and then I don't get it, and telling family, I didn't get it, flying back. So being able to feel like you're disappointing your family. I mean, but it's not. They're never gonna seem like that. But to me, it feels like
Yeah.
um, so having that anger and letting it out is very important. I say that, and then changing it. It has something else has to take over. It can't keep being angry.
No, and I appreciate this because I feel like you're speaking to people that are watching and listening that don't have to have anything to do with football, and like
Hmm.
these are life lessons.
Yeah,
So now here you are with the New York Jets, and they're in a new era, right? New
yeah,
leadership, moving forward, just what this team's going to look like, what they're going to be. Pieces were traded away, a lot of draft capital for the future. What are your thoughts? What's the locker room like, and how you would describe, being a member of the New York Jets as we step into 26, 27?
there's the best is yet to come. Like we have so much good football ahead of us. Um, I was with the team for the most part. You know, the onset, the training camp, the preseason games, So I saw that building stage in the training camp and how AG was emphasizing his plan and what we needed to get done. And like even when I was at home and I watched us lose those games, it's just like we shouldn't have lost those games. It's not like I'm expecting us to win those games because of how much emphasis we've put in those little things
Yeah.
and the things that actually help us win. Um, so I mean, you need more players to win. You need more people to win. That is an important part of the game too. So I'm excited to see what happens with the draft um, and everything we have available to us. But AG has a great plan and really great coach. Knows how to lead the room. Knows how to emphasize his plan. Lays it out. There's no guesswork. You know what's expected of you. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, just map out. This is your job. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to get done,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be held accountable. So um, those are all the platforms that lead to winning.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I've been spoiled and blessed. I was playing with the Bills for a long time, and we won a lot of games. Guys understood the culture, understood what they needed to get done. We had a lot of good guys, and we had Josh Allen. So um, it's easy to get used to that. Um,
Yeah.
but like I can see that happening. Um, when all the pieces fall in where they're supposed to fall in. AG is the right coach to take that next step with the program.
You talk about the leadership of Aaron Glenn, AG, and you say he's the right person to take on the leadership. He's the right person to lead this team forward. The best is yet to come. And I mean, what makes you say all these things about Aaron Glenn? What is it about his coaching style, leadership, just the man that he is, that makes you believe the Jets are in good hands?
He is, how should I put this? His plan. He's been very upfront about, how he wants us to win, some things he wants to eliminate, some things he wants us to get better, emphasize on the things we are getting better on. And he knows how to lead men. He knows how to lead the locker room. He knows how to encourage the guys. He knows when to point out, hey, we need to do better here. You need to do better there. He knows when to pull off the reins and, get the guys a break. And he knows when to push and push, It's just those little things that could go unnoticed, but he pays attention to, invests a lot of, you could tell he invests a whole lot of time on trying to make every single person better at what they do. So, it's things that you see, and you have faith in the next step.
Yeah, and in that next step, I mean, the door's kind of open, right, to who's gonna kind of take up that leadership. Where do you see it from? I mean, you can impart it from your place, because I mean, obviously, I consider you a good leader, and you've had a lot of experience and knowledge and wisdom in your time in the NFL. Where else does that leadership come from on the team? I mean, the thought of who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to kind of lead the charge, what's going to happen with some of those big names out there like Breece Hall and whatnot. So, I mean, where do you see the leadership coming from with the Jets?
I mean, as you mentioned, obviously the quarterback has to be that voice. But also we have a lot of guys that are really bought in. G-Dub is really bought. I mean, a lot of guys, all the guys are bought in. We have a lot of guys on offense, the receivers, the running backs, that are bought into the culture, bought into how we need to win, and are doing the right things.
Yeah.
So on that part of the ball, like those offensive guys, the skill players, the running backs, receivers, the tight end, and we spent really good draft capital on the O lineman, especially with the two tackles. Those guys are going to be leaders next coming years, even just next year, because it's third year for Olu and a second year for Membo. So going into that, second, third year, you need to start when you're confident with your play and more confident in the looks you're getting. Then you can take that next step and being a leader, and I can see those guys stepping up and filling that role too. And on defense, they're rearranging a few things with the defense, bringing in a lot of new coaching staff. But we have some guys. We got some guys that have always been, active and very vocal. Linebackers, Sherwood, and we have a D tackle that's been in the league for a long time, Harrison Phillips. But we have people that have a lot of experience with leading and being a vocal voice in that locker room that the guys need to hear.
Yeah, excitement for the future of the Jets, excitement for Kingsley Jonathan. Kingsley, you get the final word. What's the last thing you want to say today in this wake-up call conversation inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios?
Jesus loves you. Find your faith, find him. And you just, I haven't said it enough today. Of being so appreciative of what you have, and thankful, and you can't ever go wrong by being thankful. So that's all I got.
Kingsley Jonathan, my guy.
Always important stuff that I need to hear when I need to hear it. I love you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Love you too, brother.
Hey everybody, this is Rockney Roberts from Willow Rock Brewing Company. We are here in Cicero at the Willow Rock Pizza Pub.
And I'm Kevin Williams, also from Willow Rock Brewing Company. Happy to be here and happy to be partnering with CNS and Dan Tortora.
You want some place where you can feel comfortable and hopefully ingratiate yourself with the community. And Kevin, he grew up right down the road from here. I grew up in Brewerton, so not too far away. We know the area, we know the people, they're great, and we were just really excited to be able to come to the area.
Yeah, and having the opportunity to meet some of these coaches, some of the people in general already, and seeing the CNS colors kind of around, and already partnering on a smaller level with individual teams really made this make sense to us to really formalize kind of a partnership with the school and get this rolling.
You know, Willow Rock to me has always been about high quality beverages, high quality experiences, and now high quality food in our pizza pub. You know, that was something new for us when we came to Cicero. Right from the drop, we knew we were going to have a focus on the highest quality food to go with our high quality beer. At the Willow Rock Pizza Pub, you're getting high quality, hand cut, top notch ingredients. We're open for lunch. That's a really important thing for us, is to be able to get that person in here like, hey, you only got 30 minutes for lunch, but we're gonna have something for you that you can get quickly and available to everybody.
Yeah, we wanted something that was just a little bit outside the box, a little bit outside of comfort zone, but still something that you could rely on to be consistent and easy to look at and easy to be like, oh, I can see myself eating this. I can see myself wanting to have that more than once. Eating a whole pizza like our beef on weck pizza, I've never seen one anywhere. It's just a great ideas, great inspiration across the board. We're their spot to stop. We're their friendly neighborhood watering hole, as well as pizza place and place to stop for a restaurant. Not just beer drinkers here. We've got wines, we got cocktails, we got non-alcoholic stuff for the kids.
The location is more important today than it ever has been before, and we're lucky enough to be here in Cicero. The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is a place where you can bring your family. You can come in, you can grab a soda, you can relax. You can come after a game, before a game, your parents, your grandparents. Our goal is to make sure that everyone's comfortable here. We want students, we want athletes, we want your coaches. It's going to be a good time. So come here, enjoy the high quality food, high quality beverage that we're going to offer to everybody. And hey, go North Stars.
We're so happy to have the North Stars. We are very much a kid-friendly establishment. We have tons of space outside for everybody to be playing outside, as well as listening to live music, enjoying some pizza.
The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is open 6 days a week here in Cicero. That is Tuesday through Sunday. And our website is willowrockbrew.com, and our socials are at Willow Rock Brew. So find us on the net, find us in person. We'll see you soon.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes. Avicoli's Restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on in to the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's KAMP ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You can find them for singles, packs, boxes, graded cards, and more, including all the supplies you need to protect your cards, travel with them, and showcase them. They have something for everyone, and if you've never collected cards before, now's a perfect time to start. getting closer to the teams you love, the players you love, and the trading card games and characters you love. From Disney Lorcana to Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, One Piece, to, of course, your basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, sports cards, and more. GG Cards and Breaks is the place where you can be a kid, no matter what your age, making memories and building with a community that is so caring, consistent, and just a wonderful place to be. I can speak to it because I live it all the time. Thanks to Josh and Anthony and their entire team, GG Cards and Breaks has been a pleasant place to be any week of the year. They're just truly a special business that goes far beyond sports and trading cards. Go and see them today, and every Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5, GG Cards and Breaks on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. We'll see you there. Big time shout out and a big time thanks to Chick-fil-A in DeWitt, the corner of Bridge Street and Erie Boulevard. They call it Chick-fil-A Bridge in Erie, and that's where you'll find Megan Sorber and her team in a giant brick building that is impossible for you to miss. Giant brick building, huge double drive-through and parking lot. Chick-fil-A on the corner of Bridge and Erie is waiting for you today. Of course, they have the original, the spicy, the grilled. They have the breakfast you love, the mac and cheese, the new frosted beverages, and of course those shakes. Chick-fil-A in DeWitt has so many wonderful things, and they're going to be presenting a new limited time only item, and I get to talk about it in a few days, so make sure you get your way over to Chick-fil-A in DeWitt on the corner of Bridge Street and Erie Boulevard. Support Megan Sorber and her team as they support our community with fantastic guest service and the flavors that you love. Big time thanks to everybody being a part of the show today, and that includes you watching and listening up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com here inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. And once we go live, we jump into those archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure to subscribe to us on all of these channels, to follow us, to download us, so that you can keep us wherever you are, whether you're on a train, on a plane, on a cruise ship, or just going about your day. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is right there with you wherever you go. And of course, you can ask Alexa and your Google Home device to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they will do that for you as well. Many thanks to our incredible team in Central and Upstate New York, and we appreciate your support of Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, Mon Paz, the snack capital of the world, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Pizza Man, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Bryan's Landing, Myers Creek with 2 locations on 33 Rippleton Road in Cazenovia on the countryside, and in the city of Syracuse on 720 Van Rensselaer Street in Syracuse, New York. Chick-fil-A Cicero, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Mother's Cupboard, where I have my own breakfast sandwich exclusively there in the city of Syracuse. It's called the Cuse Mac Mother, bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup today. Chick-fil-A in DeWitt, Game Point Sports Complex, Avicoli's, Willow Rock Brewing Company with the Willow Rock Pizza Pub, where we will be for our inaugural broadcast with CNS Athletics this Thursday, March 5th at 6 p.m., featuring CNS North Stars girls basketball. And, of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Binghamton University Bearcats. It is Bearcat time every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide. You will find the Bearcats here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Go ahead and check out those Bearcats right here with us, where sports meets life. Student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. You can find all of our content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Binghamton playlist. The Bearcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com is what's poppin', giving you the list of topics and guests of the day. Big time shout out to Mon Paz for being the amusement park for our taste buds on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Many thanks to Ed Gosek, and a big congratulations on his team so far this season, getting to the title game in the SUNYAC for men's ice hockey with an opportunity to avenge their play against Hobart. They'll be on the road at the Cooler in Geneva, New York, where Hobart plays, and they are the 2 seed, Oswego, going up against the 1 seed, Hobart, and I'll echo what Ed said. That's how it should be. The top 2 teams in the conference play for the right to be the champion of that conference. So, Ed Gosek and the Oswego State Lakers men's ice hockey team take to the road this Saturday, March 7th at 7 p.m. to the Cooler to see if they can rise to be SUNYAC champions once again under Ed Gosek, and I'm excited for all that's to come with that. Big time shout out to my guy Dan Villari, the better half of NeapoliDANS, episode 9 today on what football has taught him, the lessons he's learned in faith, in football, in life. That was all shared here today. And of course, my one-on-one, fresh off of his engagement with Kingsley Jonathan, the Syracuse Orange alum, who has now spent multiple years in the NFL and signed a multi-year contract with the New York Jets, and is a Jet heading into the 2026-27 season on their defensive line. For now, from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, I say God bless, no stress, do your best. You know where to find us. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. If you forget all of that, you can just go to wakeupcalldt.com, and our videos, our audio feed, as well as our articles, all of the businesses we work with, everything is in one place on wakeupcalldt.com, including all the links to our social media. We'll talk with you soon. Have a beautiful day from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. God bless you all. Take care.